My name's Duddy, set up builds and stuff. Today I want to be taking a look at the edge of action, this exotic glaive, creating safe havens for you and your teammates wherever you go. We're also going to be taking a look at some buffs coming to Void Overshields, in particular in the Titans. Titans are going to get a big buff next season for support, style and damage resistance. This glaive is extremely useful. We're going to be pairing it up with the Helm of Saint-14 helmet as well for blinding bubbles. And like I said, we will take a look at some of the buffs coming to Titans next season. This glaive will create you infinite void overshields. Stay with me, I'm going to break it all down. We'll start off with the exotic glaive, edge of action, Titan specific. It's a hybrid melee range pole arm with frontal shield, generates energy on dealing range damage, void, 55 rounds per minute. It's got a perk on there, remote shield. What this does, when energy is full, consume it before firing to make your next shot deploy a protective shield on impact. Passing through the protective shield provides a void overshield and improves weapon damage, reload speed and handling. It's not a massive weapon damage boost, it's 5%. However, the void overshields that you can create infinitely with this is just going to be absolutely brilliant next season. So you basically just hold to reload, pop your bubble down like so. You got a void overshield, 15 seconds. It's also next season, this is where it's going to be really good. You're going to get a 70% damage, so it's going to be 50 to 70% damage buff. And then the HP, that is equivalent to 150 HP for you and your teammates. You've obviously got Bastion on top of that as well, where you cast your super or pop your barricade down. So between the two, you've pretty much got infinite overshields. Now an exotic that pairs really nicely with this one is Helm of Saint-14. Targets that enter Ward of Dawn are blinded, while allies pass through gain a weapon damage boost. Guarding with Sentinel Shield also blinds nearby targets, but your Ward of Dawn, when enemies enter that's your Titan super, you're going to blind them. But when you've got this exotic glaive equipped, the mini bubbles also get this effect as well. So you're going to be blinding things as well as providing overshields and a 5% damage increase. You'll see in this little clip here, these guys are all blinded. So that's extremely helpful as well in certain situations, which I'm going to show you through this video. Another little thing to mention, Titan Barricade now taunts enemies as well. This is going to be next season. This taunt only occurs while the player is standing behind the barricade. So you're going to be able to blind and taunt enemies with your barricade, which is absolutely crazy. Bastion, this is one of the aspects I like to run with this one, which we've briefly touched on. Cast your super or cast your barricade to create an overshield. I also like to run offensive bulwark, because this also fits nicely while you have an overshield or inside Ward of Dawn. You obviously, as we've mentioned with Bastion and the glaive, we're going to get infinite overshields. It's going to make your grenade recharge significantly faster. It also gives you increased melee range and damage, and melee final blows restore a small portion of your overshield and extend its duration. You also gain an additional shield throw while you're in the Sentinel Shield. But just having that increased grenade recharge rate, this is how I like to run this type of build, this type of setup, just providing little void overshield support for my teammates before you get into some champions or some tricky enemies or something along them lines. And also, this is how I really like to use this glaive. Just getting through this little doorway here, you've popped a little safe haven just outside, your teammates can pass through that, give them a nice crispy overshield, and again next season they're going to get 150 HP from these overshields. Anything that steps into this here is going to get blinded, and this creates a nice little safe haven for my friend to go and dunk a ball. Just absolutely love running this type of build. I was one of the first people to sort of do one of these builds, I believe, if not the first, way back when the exotic glaives come out. I will link that video, it's a very old video. But again, just for yourself as well as your teammates, you can just give yourself a nice little safe haven, just protect yourself, giving yourself that nice overshield, getting all your increased grenade recharge rate and everything else you've got going on. And again, I was running it quite a lot in Dual Destiny for a little bit, just for some clips really, and it's extremely helpful just to give yourself again that little safe area, just to do some mechanics. It feels really good. As well as the overshield that you get from it, you do actually get a 5% damage increase as well. I know it's not massive, but you can actually use this for DPS situations as well. So you're going to give yourself and your teammates that little free little safe area there. And then if you've got something like a sword with surrounded, an extra 5%, it's not to be sniggered at. An extra 5% on surrounded swords, and again you're going to give your teammates like little safe areas, keeping them alive for longer. And again, just for like shotguns, swords, protection, it's just an absolutely perfect little setup. I really enjoy running this build. This glaive, when it first came out, like I said, I was all over it, and I've done quite a few videos on it on the channel, but I think it was worth going over again because of all the buffs that you've seen coming next season to void overshields, taunting barricades, blinding bubbles. I think this could be extremely useful. Obviously we've got Ward of Dawn or Twilight Arsenal. Again, I like to run Ward of Dawn with this particular setup. It's just giving you extra 25% damage for you and your teammates, and again, free overshields. And again, you could sort of like mix it in between the two, wherever you want to do it. If you've got big tanky things or things that you need to kill quick, get your Ward of Dawn down, and you can even give your teammates 25% on the fly just with your Ward of Dawn. And it's not too bad, it's not to be sniggered at. 25%, pretty nice. And again, just providing these little bubbles, just in normal gameplay, just to give you that extra bit of overshield, extra bit of damage. You're going to give yourself some increased grenade recharge rate. The other thing I want to mention that I haven't really talked about, the thing that for me that really completes this little setup is a suppressor grenade. Suppressor grenade with Echo of Undermining just feels really nice. Suppression grenades just absolutely make this build tick, in my opinion. It just slows everything down, as well as the blinding. And again, for next season, the suppressor grenade, your taunting barricade that we're going to get, where you're going to be able to taunt enemies, which is going to be really nice. One other little buff I want to talk to you about is the one that's coming for towering and rally barricades. Reduce non-boss combatant damage dealt to the barricades by 50%, so they're going to last a lot longer. And on top of the increases to the void overshield, you're going to get increased splash damage reduction from combatants for players behind the barricade from 20 to 60%. So your barricades are going to be really good next season as well. All that void damage that you take in some encounters, that's going to be negated quite a lot. And then barricades now grant moderate damage resistance versus combatants during your cast animation. So between everything you've seen, I think it's really good next season. I really see this being good in master content for keeping your teammates alive and things like that. Now the other thing I want to talk to you about briefly is my fragments, because we're going to be able to get grenade recharge rate on our glaive kills. Echo of Undermining, your void grenades weaken targets, pair that with suppressor grenade and it's just magic. Echo of Persistence to make your buffs last longer, specifically Devour and Overshield. Echo of Starvation, picking up a void breach or an hour of power, grants you Devour. And then finally, because we're running a glaive, Echo of Exchange, melee final blows, grant grenade energy. You'll see I have actually used my grenade in this setup here, this clip, and getting a few melee kills is going to charge my grenade massively. So Echo of Exchange just feels like a really nice one, and again you can glaive away when you're inside your bubble or your Ward of Dawn, just to get infinite grenade recharge rate basically. And on top of that, you've obviously got your Devour going on as well. But that's pretty much the full video. I hope you found it somewhat useful. Maybe give it a bash if you've got the glaive yourself, see what you think. But I think next season it's going to be super strong, especially for like master stuff. Negated all that void damage and stuff like that we seem to get hammered by. But yeah, that's the video. I'll leave a dim link in the video description. I'll also leave a build card from my friend over on Twitter, Mr. Slayer God. I hope you found this video helpful. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.